Good morning. I'm Pete Seiferth, one of the pastors at Northminster Church in Tucson, Arizona. Glad to greet you on this June 4th, a Friday morning, and here's a devotional thought for you for today. And it's taken from one of the readings from our daily lectionary as we are continuing through the month of June with our daily devotions. I was really drawn today, having just preached about a tax collector named Zacchaeus. I was really intrigued by the parable for today, which is in Luke chapter 18. And as you might remember, Jesus taught in parables, kind of illustrations, to help people kind of understand a bit of what he was talking about, right? When he was explaining and teaching. And in this one, it gives a little bit of an explanation at the beginning. In chapter 18, verse 9 of Luke, it says, "To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable." And he says, two people went up to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee, one was a tax collector. Well, of course, back then the Pharisees would have been seen as holy and just and righteous, very, very responsible believers in God. And then tax collectors were on the fringe. They were considered wrongdoers because even though they were Jewish, they were kind of in league with the occupiers, the Romans, and they worked to collect taxes that often took advantage of the Jewish people. So tax collectors were seen as big sinners, okay? So Jesus is saying this, it's kind of like a joke, right? You've got a tax collector and you've got a holy Pharisee going to the temple. Guess what's going to happen? And but this is really no joke, right? The Pharisee goes in and prays this very self-righteous type prayer. God, I thank you that I'm not like other people, robbers or evildoers or adulterers, or even like this tax collector who's standing here next to me. Because you know what? I fast twice a week and I give a tenth of all I get. He's very proud of his religion. And here's the thing, in many ways, he is living the right way. But where is his heart? Is his heart really with God, or is his heart with himself and how it is that he's trying to make it look good in his religious life? But then there's the tax collector. He stood at a distance, it says. He would not even look up to heaven, but instead he beat his chest and he said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Then Jesus wraps up the story by saying, I tell you that this man, rather than the other, the tax collector, not the Pharisee, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. I'm reminded of the verse in James, James 4:10. It says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Friends, today, how's your religion? It might be that you're doing all the right things and your heart is in the right place. It also might be true that you've turned religion and going to church and doing the prayers and all this kind of stuff into something we call religiosity, something that even itself can become an idol before God. And so we're called by God to examine our hearts today about our motivations and our excitement. I guess one of the ways that we can understand if we're humble or not is, are we really still excited about God and having a relationship with God through Jesus Christ, that the Holy Spirit can meet us and be with us and overwhelm us with his loving grace and mercy? Is that exciting for you? Or are you feeling like your religion is just a set of duties and obligations? It's true that we've got lots to do, but not out of obligation or duty. It's out of a desire in humility of humbling ourselves before God to find our strength in God and our joy and our true life. Friends, God bless you this day, and I pray you have a wonderful weekend.